I'm Tim. Welcome to my channel. It's going to be another glorious day of working out. I'm going to be hitting the 10 pounds for the bench press to warm up. Again, warming up is really important. It gives me a chance to see if there's any aches or pains, if anything's wrong. I'm going to be hitting the 70-pound dumbbells today. So I definitely, before I get to that level, want to make sure that everything's working the way it should. Here we go. Let's jump right into it. You definitely don't want to rush the warming up process. So, one of the things I wanted to say, because I keep forgetting to point out, at the end of the videos, I do put the entire workout. So I only started like a couple of weeks ago, but if you go to the end of the video, you'll see a little screen that'll show you exactly what I did. And if you want to just see what the full thing looks like. Starting in July, I've been focusing on doing 30-minute workouts, kind of condensing it. I switched to doing, instead of doing a streaming workout, just recording and uploading. So that's like helped cut it down. Streaming, it's easier for me to get distracted when I'm talking to people, and also the stream drops, so I'm constantly fiddling with that. But making this a very streamlined 30-minute workout and showing the results. I always see people talking about 30-minute workouts, like, oh, I got 30 minutes and you'll have amazing abs, 30 minutes you'll have this. So I'm just curious to see what kind of results I could get by doing 30-minute workouts. And then it would take away excuses for, oh, I don't have time to do an hour workout. Okay? For 5 30-minute workouts, and it was only 2.5 hours. I'm sure a lot of people figure out how to squeeze in 2.5 hours. It's 20 pounds. I think the hardest time to get that 30 minutes in, though, is when you have like newborns or 2-year-olds. 2-year-olds suck up a lot of time because they're mobile, they can get into trouble, they can put things in their mouth. It is really hard. It's easier when they're 1. It's easier when they're, when you could actually just, they're happy to chill while you work out. But as soon as they get to 2, it's rough. I met some neighbors of mine that have 2 boys, and they said they They have such a hard time getting in the gym and working out. They have a setup in the garage, but I can imagine two boys can get into serious trouble fast if you take your eye off of them. Me and my brother, you should definitely make sure you're paying attention. If we're not fighting or breaking something, we're gonna be jumping off of something. We're gonna be climbing something, falling out of something. Boys can give you a good run for your money. Now, as a kid, we had awesome trees in our backyard, so we spent a lot of time climbing. A lot of time hanging out in trees. All right, so warmed up. Couldn't feel anything that would give me any cause of concern. So I'm gonna jump on 70 pounds. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Last week was the first week getting back to the 70 pounds. I've been at the 70-pound dumbbell level before, and then just through taking time off, drop back down, but back at it, ready to hit it. And as soon as I can do 3 sets of 10, then I'll move up in weight. But this is where we're at today. Whew. That was 10. Give myself a minute to breathe. One second. All right. So last week, my first set was a set of 10. My second set was a set of 6. So as long as we can beat 6, we're improving. 10 more seconds. All right, that's 8. That's 2 more reps. Oh, good. You have 30 more seconds and jump back on it. One of the things when you're doing a lot of weight with the dumbbells, especially like when you're in the 70-pound range, you want to make sure that you have a good setup. Make sure that you are, being careful when you roll back. Make sure you're being careful when you roll forward and putting them down. You can hurt yourself just moving 70 pounds around. You don't actually have to be mid-exercise to do something stupid. You pick it up wrong, you twist your elbow wrong, you pick it up, you twist your knee wrong. So lots of ways to do something that hurts yourself when you have higher weights. So being very conscious of that and focus. To beat last week's third set, I just have to do 5. All right, here we go. Tight. Oh, damn it. Of course, right after I said be careful. That's an example of how you gotta be careful. So it was 6. So it said 10, it said 8, it said 6. Last week I did a set of 10, set of 6, set of 4. So improvements. Gotta take them where you can get them. I'm gonna go down to 60 pounds. Yeah, the rolling back with the dumbbells. Like, I think that's the thing that makes it harder going up in weight. Not having a spotter. And, with a bench press, with a barbell, it's set up for you. You don't have to get it up. I think if I go up to a certain amount of weight, though, I will probably have to eventually buy a barbell. Get a real Olympic set going. But for now I can still make progress with the dumbbells. All right, it's gonna be 60 pounds. Oh. All right. In about 40 seconds. Hit it again. So that's an improvement over last week too. Last week when I dropped down in the 60s, I was only able to do a set of 9, just a set of 10. So as always, you gotta give yourself, props when you do a little bit better. That's how you get significant gains, is keeping yourself motivated by appreciating the small things that you're doing along the way. That was a rough set of 8. I'm gonna give myself 50 seconds. I'll check something, be right back. All right, 20 more seconds. So this last set tied with the previous week. That's okay. I had improvements before that. That's the thing that I cling to with working out, is writing stuff so you can see improvements. When you were just worried about, oh, how does my physique look, or am I losing weight? That can be more frustrating because you don't know always, are you losing weight? Are you not losing weight as fast because you're putting on more muscles? Are you not losing weight as fast because you're eating too much? Different things come into factor, but you always know with weightlifting when you're being successful because you can push more weight. All right, here we go. All right. That was a gain of 1 over last week on that last rep session. And especially if you're losing weight, if you're losing weight, there's a side where when you go down and you lose fat, things will look smaller. Your biceps will look smaller. Your chest will look smaller. And you can really get bummed out. It's oh man, I looked so strong 10 pounds ago, but now that I've dropped 10 pounds, I don't see it. And that, it can be very frustrating. But if you're tracking your weight and your reps and your sets, and how much weight you're doing, you can know that I might not look as big, but I'm just as strong, and I'm getting stronger. And for me, working out is about being strong. It's about being fit. It's not as much about looking jacked. But again, I'm married, so I don't have that same pressure that single guys do or single gals do. I can show my wife how strong I am when I carry both our kids upstairs and remind her that, that's 100 pounds I just carried upstairs. That's what I like to do. I like to impress her. Hold on, right back. Wife is leaving. I had to say goodbye to the wife. I should have not opened up the garage though. Now I have some exhaust in here. Oh well. Yourself 30 seconds. 40 seconds to jump back on it. And this is the 50 pounds. So just gradually going lower and lower. Yeah, there are definitely a lot of perks to being married. A lot of insecurities that you don't have to deal with if you have a good wife. If you got a bad wife or bad husband, that's a different story. So you gotta marry well. Marry well, keep them happy as much as you can. I think the key to hold on a second. You got kids arguing. Right back. All right, I got 5 minutes left. Hopefully, no more interruptions. Well, let's see. 8. Tell you though, the stress of marriage, a lot of it comes from the kids. And if you can keep your eye on that, it's important. Sometimes you're going to find yourself, sometimes in marriage, you'll find yourself bickering with your wife or spouse, and you'll be like, oh man, like really upset with each other. But you're not. You have no problems with each other. It's the kids are driving you both nuts. And you just have to acknowledge that. Like, oh, you know what? I'm not really that upset. I just, like, the kids. This is the kids. The kids are doing this to us. And that makes the difference sometimes. It can really solve some problems when you acknowledge the turmoil your kids can put you through and make you temporarily dislike each other. The joys of marriage. That's why I don't have kids unless it's what you really want to do. You don't want to force them on someone. I will say though, there's a lot of perks to having kids too. They bring a lot of humor into your days. They say funny things, they do funny things. They ask you questions that make you realize how little you know on subjects that are actually important. And then you have to go find out, questions that you thought of at one point in your life, but nobody had the patience or time to give you the answer. And now, thanks to our access to the internet, there's no reason not to find out an answer. That's 7. So normally I would drop down to the 40s, but because I'm out of time, I'm just gonna do one more set with the 50s as much as I can. 15 more seconds. That's 5. All right, so that's it for me today. Feeling good? Had some improvement. That's all I can ask for is just keep on improving. I hope that you find improvement with whatever physical activity you're pursuing. And if you're like I was a few years ago, and all that you can manage for the sake of staying safe and losing weight is walking, just walk a little bit further, walk a little bit longer, walk a little bit faster. These are all options with walking. When you start out walking, it's really good to time yourself, to keep track of your distance. Some days, what you can do is just increase that speed a little bit, increase that distance a little bit. Small things you can do that will make it, progressively harder on you and keep you, moving and energized. If you're walking around your neighborhood, I know, because that's what I would do the most. That kids is the easiest thing to do. It can get really boring walking in the same neighborhood. So just increasing that time, increasing that distance that speed are easy ways to keep you focused on it and feeling good. Aggressively, when you get to a safe weight, start jogging. Get down to a safe weight, start running. Take those progressive steps. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it's encouraging to you. Hope you're able to stay focused and motivated. And God bless you. Thank you so much.
Okay, today with bench press, I did 3 sets of 10 with 10 pounds, 3 sets of 10 with the 20 pounds. With the 70 pounds, I did 1 set of 10, 1 set of 8, 1 set of 6. With the 60 pounds, I did 1 set of 10, 1 set of 8, 1 set of 7. With the 50 pounds, I did 1 set of 10, 3 sets of 8, 1 set of 7, 1 set of 5. Thank you.